There is, I don't know what it is, but there is also this connection between chefs and ego and being on a bike as well. So one of the rides I do is called Chef Cycle, something that I sort of had founded maybe 7-8 years ago. And to date, we've raised over 9 million for hungry kids in the States, creating school breakfast programs, creating summer school programs. You know, the statistic currently in the States is 1 in 5 kids 1 in 5 kids turns up to school without having breakfast, whether it be for whatever reason.
I believe the number's pretty high.
It's same here.
Yeah,
but particularly in South Australia.
Did you just make that up?
No, because I was involved in a group called Opal, Obesity Prevention Lifestyle, and I did a tour down here. And they were creating these inserts and these placards for schools, and it could be water, the original cool drink, and things like that, getting kids to eat breakfast. But there were a high number of kids who were turning up to school without breakfast and having a good understanding of, or their parents having an understanding of good nutrition. So that flow through from parents not teaching and giving kids time in the kitchen, because not only they're not preparing their own foods or not being aware of it, they're just not getting it. Just with the average income, and you could be a lot of single parents, not enough money to go around anyway, so the quality of food's not that great. Do I pay the electricity bill? Do I pay the water bill?
Yeah.
So people are juggling, how do I pay? So it's funny that, well, it's not funny, but I went from working with Opal here up into the States and had a need and a want to help feed people who couldn't be fed. So, you know, I've done everything from, you know, advocating on Capitol Hill for New York and New Jersey. And this is part of No Kid Hungry. Chef Cycle is now almost like a sister non-for-profit where we raise money for No Kid Hungry. And for every dollar that we raise, we can connect a kid to 10 meals because it's subsidized.
In America?
In the States,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great thing because the number was, I didn't know if it was the same, but I've read about that. The kids are rocking up without eating breakfast.
So imagine, and it's different as another, because we talk about intermittent fasting and stuff like that.
Well,
but as a kid,
I was going to say, is it different for kids though, where as an adult you can make a decision, or you know, someone actually makes that conscious decision that I'm going to do some intermittent fasting, like might miss breakfast or whatever, but. I think as a child with the so much development, I'm assuming, I'm no health expert, but I'm assuming that is better for their health to make sure they have something substantial.
So food and breakfast, break the fast, that first meal of the day, concentration, energy levels.
Hang on, break the fast. Is that what breakfast means?
Of course.
Wait
a minute. Wait, you didn't know that? I just taught you something.
Stop it.
Break fast.
Are you serious?
Breakfast.
Fuck.
Isn't that weird when you get something like that and you...
Why is everyone fucking looking at me like that? You didn't know that. No. Thank
you heard
God,
it here.
there's one.
Break fast.
Yeah, okay. No shit.
Oh my God, the new coconut coffee water. Break fast.
I cannot believe this
Break
shit.
faster. You didn't know that. No, break the fast.
No, I get it now.
So, but don't forget that's what intermittent fasting is. You haven't eaten so it doesn't matter what time you eat that meal, you're still breaking the fast.
Okay.
So it's the first thing that you put into your system. So you're looking for micronutrients and all that sort of stuff. So you need good sources of energy, good sources of food, good sources of whole food. So for a kid to not have that source of breaking the fast in the morning, you turn up to school on an empty stomach. What do you think you're thinking about the whole day?
Food.
Your stomach.
Yeah.
The teacher's talking. I'm not hearing the teacher. I'm hungry. You're looking out the window. You're wondering about when your next meal is. So it's torture for a kid to not have a meal in their stomach or to know where the next meal is coming from. So this program is about... the other thing that comes with that too is, let's just say there's a percentage of kids, say 40% of the kids need the school breakfast because they don't have it. Then there is a stigma attached to, the poor kid's lining up for breakfast, let's pick on him. So now we've implemented all kids, all the time, get breakfast at school. So there is no poking.
So I recently watched a doco talking about different schools around the world.
Yep.
I think it was the column. It was Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Who do we invade next?
Yep.
And he was taking it for a viewpoint of America used to be a great schooling nation, and now I think they're 29th in the world. Someone might want to follow that up for me. And then he's gone over to France and Europe and Sweden, where they're number 1 and number 3 in the world. And they sit down and have a 3-course meal for lunch.
Yep.
They do no homework. And they spoke to the principal, and as a lady, and they said, "Oh, what do you think about, surely kids got to do homework to excel?" And it's like, no. This is when they need to interact with their family, be at home, play with their friends.
Mindful connections.
And it's crucial. And they talk about the lunch, and they showed what they had for lunch. So they had a serving of cheese, and then they had multiple meals. So they had vegetarian, they had fish. So they literally had the whole lot. But they sat everyone together, and I watched that, and I thought, well, why the hell are we banging on about the same schooling system where we're making kids do hours and hours of homework?
Because we're not evolving.
It bothers me that my kids are potentially, they're just starting school, but they're potentially going to be doing this, and I'm an anti-school system. I think, it's great for learning some discipline. And
you need to be a voice for that, for your belief in that, because there are a lot of other people who believe in the same thing. There is, I think, see, for me, school was just a big social foray. I loved it. I couldn't tell you one particular mate. I just knew everyone. I just got around the circles. But for me, school is about socializing. I think within schools, the thing that was most important to me were boundaries. And turning up to school on time, being aware of your presentation, all that sort of thing. I mean, I was sort of a B grade, maybe C+ student if I was lucky. I was average to fair, but I always knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I knew how to pick those subjects, and I excelled at the ones I wanted to be good at. I think, like food, there's always going to be an evolution, and I can't say enough because I don't know enough, but I think I get the feeling the school system's not evolving enough, and we do need to take a serious look at the way we teach our kids. And I think personal hygiene, health, what we eat is probably more important than some of the other stuff they're teaching. I think for you to know how to feed yourself, I'm not talking about going out and hunting and gathering, things like that. We've sort of beyond that. You just go down to Drake's. But I think it's important. Yeah, keep that one. Keep that one. Have a drink. I think it's important that we've evolved to the point where we're still giving our kids those tools. Cooking isn't important. I mean, they don't need to cook a gourmet dinner, but they need to know what foods are right. They need to know what, there's something that I really appreciated someone teaching me, and that was this: what Mother Nature has given us. Have you take a cross section of a carrot, right?
Yep.
It looks like the iris of an eye.
Yep.
We know that carrot's a source of beta-carotene, that's eye food. You take a walnut, it's a source of omega fatty acids. That's brain food. Walnut looks like a brain. Green leafy vegetables, looks like arteries and veins. It's a source of iron. Oh my God, that's blood food. Tomato, source of lycopene. You cut a cross-section of tomato, looks like the 2 auricles and the 2 ventricles of a heart. Oh my God, that's heart food. Crazy, right? When you can teach kids at that level that Mother Nature has planted something there that is specific to us as a source of fuel and for nurturing our bodies, you're giving them the world. They could do anything after they know that.
And it's as simple as that.
Yeah. It is. It is. The brain garden.
But we've evolved, like I'm looking how I was brought up to how I'm bringing my kids up. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming I'm not alone. Whereas, there's photos of me walking around with a 1 litre bottle of Coke.
Yep.
When I was like 8 or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I would never give my kids that, not even as a maybe food.
No.
So I think there is a real push from what we can see in, you call it plant-based or whole foods. Oh, you don't call it plant, but whole foods where we're starting to see the manufacturers making changes. And the problem with some of the kids rocking up having breakfast is that breakfast could be full of sugar, whether it be Cocoa Pops or something like that, where you can see that they're changing the way. In Australia, we've got the 5-star health food rating, and it's come under a little bit of fire in the past by giving, I think I gave Milo a 4.5 star rating. Everyone loves Milo, but they've changed the rating now, and it's now being implemented where it's a true rating of what quality of that food is in the morning. Yeah. And I can see that's happening across the supermarket in many levels, where we're trying to get a lot more beneficial, a lot less numbers, a lot less processed crap into the food, because it's hard to actually wake up every morning and have like a nice egg, some cereal, some or some muesli, or
Yep.
so that those times are changing, and I can we can see that in what's going on with what we're doing in regards to what Drake's are doing as a supermarket outlet. We want people to have a great lifestyle, and from that, it's good to have some naughty food every now and then because everyone I love ribs, or there's something there that you can go to and just you really like wings, to be honest.
But the problem is though, JP, is that our parents didn't have for us when we were kids, our parents didn't have the education that we have. I think we're a little bit more evolved than what our parents were as far as wanting to know information and what our food is. We're seeing the effects of what poor diet is on our parents and our parents' age bracket too. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, dementia, all that sort of stuff, whether we believe it's food related or not. I believe it is.
Yeah.
And poor choices. So we're trying to make better choices for our own kids. And depending on your age bracket and where you're at, we're starting to see the benefits of changing diet and what some of those foods do for us. I have to look at some of these big brands, whether it's, Coca-Cola or Sanitarium or whoever it is. There's one big pie, all right? And there's 27 million people in Australia. Everyone's trying to have a crack. How do we infiltrate a market? How do we make our money? And each year that goes by, margins get tighter. They've got to make more money. They change recipes. They do all that stuff. They go from using sugar to high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. Yep. They're trying just to make more money. But that pie doesn't change. It's still the same amount of people. How do we make money out of these people? How do we engage them? How do we make more commercials to make look, oh my God, if I drink Coca-Cola, I'm going to have sexy people around me. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all about branding. And we're stuck in it. Here we are, 4 different brands in front of us. Yeah. And we're associated brands because of social media and marketing. It's changed a lot over the years where people are spending $5,000 to $10,000 on PR and marketing. Here's the product, here's the TV show. Now we're all personal brand. We can all do it through our social media. We can all engage influencers if that's even a thing. And engage in product, but everyone is looking for that piece of the pie, and they will attack your kids.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that.
Because it's quick, easy, full of sugar, and they love it.
100% agree.